So today is the Boxing Day. What is it? 26th? Yeah, 26th. And a couple of things happened over the past couple of days, making my life interesting, even though I didn't plan on it. And some purchases were made. This plus something else I got online for my coming Mossberg 590M. Used my washing machine first time yesterday. Couldn't figure out why it was sounding so weird. Had to call a friend who knows about these things. I said, do you know what's going on with my whirlpool? And he sent me a voice message, 15 minutes long, and the gist was that there's nothing wrong with my machine. But I managed to wash. You know, remember when I left from Ontario on my road trip going west through US? That was like middle of September, and this is the first time I ever wash my stuff, because I had like hundreds of socks and hundreds of t-shirts, right? And that's pretty much all you need, especially when it was warm. And so this is the first time I did laundry. But the washer worked and the dryer worked. Actually, previously we had to replace that kind of like exhaust pipe on the dryer. When my friend was here, would bring me all the gifts from Edmonton, and he says, "Yeah, you need a new pipe." One of those like foil pipes. We went to Canadian Tire, and then he helped me install it. So yeah, everything worked good. And also the same friend, he has a discount club membership, and he says, "Hey, I was thinking for you, since you don't have a car, I was checking, you know, car rentals, and this is decaf. I now switched to decaf. So he was checking the car rentals, and he says it's 60 bucks Canadian a day. It was like $2.40 for 4 days. Gotta make sure that I have enough water. Check it's plugged in. And then by trial and error, I figured out that it can be either 10 or 12 ounces. Right, and so he booked the car for me under his name and under his discount club number. And he was not sure if they would allow me to rent the car at this rate, because I'm not a member of that club. And he said, well, I did it before and they never asked me for the actual card, they just wanted to see my reservation. And so I think it was Friday, no, Thursday I think, I don't remember, but it was 4 days, so I'm returning Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, yeah, I think it was Friday. And so I took an Uber to the airport where the budget car rental is, and I grabbed the car and everything was fine. It's the same Dodge Charger I had before, except this one has a much weaker V6, but all-wheel drive and nice grippy winter tires. And then I'm driving Friday. Yeah, see, so 12 ounces, it fills it right to the rim. but that's cool. Right, and so I'm driving Friday, and there's snow everywhere. And all of a sudden I hear some noise, you know, like I hit something. So it turns out I hit a pothole, like a very, very deep pothole covered in snow. I thought I damaged something. I walked outside, checked my car. No, nothing is broken. So I started driving again. And then 1 kilometer later, 3/4 of a mile, I see a warning on the dash says low tire pressure, front left tire. Whereas everything else is like 42, 43 psi, front left shows us 28. I'm like, holy moly. But my building was like, you know, already getting close, right? And so I just had enough time to pull in, park, and then I see that, yeah, the tire seems low, and then when I checked on it like a couple of hours later, it was totally flat. No damage on the tire. I looked underneath. I didn't see any damage, like, you know, to the arms or springs or whatever. All the plastic is fine. But yeah, just that's what can happen with these big potholes, you know. I probably hit it sideways because I think I was turning. And that's the most dangerous thing, you know, when you hit it with your sidewall instead of going straight, you hit something like going like this, you know. And so I started, what do you do? So I started calling different companies, of course, Friday, right? Everything is closed because it's December 24th. But found one guy like at 5:40. No, wait a second. Maybe this happened Saturday. Yeah, I think this happened Saturday, yeah. Which is basically, yeah, Christmas Eve, right? But called Mr. Lube, because the place is called Mr. Lube and Tires. And I called him. I said, guys, you do. Oh yeah, at first I wanted to call like a mobile service, but nobody's responding, and of course their rates are pretty crazy. They will charge you extra money to come here, because I thought that they can come out and repair the tire, right? And found one shop with this mobile service. That was my step number one. And they say, yeah, we can come out and change your tire. I'm like, wait, what do you mean change my tire? Well, if you have a spare, we'll charge you, you know, $5,000 to come out and change your tire, because you're probably a total idiot. You don't know how to operate a jack and that little wrench, right? I said, thank you, sir. You're very kind, you know, like real Christmas spirit, but I have to decline. So basically, I just gave up on all these mobile services, and I decided, you know what? I went outside, I checked the trunk, because I never checked before, to see if I have a spare, because, you know, quite often these cars recently, you don't have a spare, but instead they will give you something like a can, you know, with some gas that you can put in, and it'll try to seal. If there's a puncture, it'll try to seal it from the inside, right? So nowadays, a few cars have spares. But I checked my trunk, found a subwoofer for some reason in there, which is nice for this. Well, it's not exactly cheap because of the all-wheel drive, but it's a 2021 with probably 20,000 miles on it, about 30,000 kilometers in 1 year. I never drive that much myself. I probably do like 10,000 kilometers a year, 6,500 miles. So anyway, so found the shop, and I was calling at like 5:40 p.m. on Saturday. This Mr. Lube and Tires, and the guy says, yeah, if you bring your car here, we'll fix it. And I said, okay, so I know you close at 6, so of course I'm not gonna make it now, but I said, are you open Sunday? He says, no, Sunday, Christmas Day, he says, is the only day when we're not open. I said, how about Monday, Boxing Day? He says, open at 8 o'clock. Perfect. And so yesterday, that was my project of the day. I went out, I checked underneath the car to make sure I know where the jack, reinforced that part under the basically driver's door where you're supposed to put the jack, right? There's a reinforced lip in there. And I checked it on the passenger side because there was a car on the other side. And I brought that little rubber mat because there's snow, right? And I knew that I'll be crawling on my knees. And that's it. I got the spare out. I got the jack. I remember I used it a couple of times before. And I found my locking nut for the wheels in my glove compartment. And so it took me probably, I don't know, 15-20 minutes to raise the car, take off the front wheel, and there was a lot of snow in there for some reason. And then I put on the spare, tighten everything, and the spare thankfully was properly inflated. And then today, Boxing Day, I was there like 7:55, and the guy was there. And this particular Mr. Lube, when I was checking Google reviews, it's like 5 or 4.9. Like I never saw such high, ratings. And these guys were very nice. Actually, I used to go to Mr. Lube when I was in Cambridge, Ontario. I always used Mr. Lube over there when I was doing oil changes and service, because these guys are fantastic. You just sit in your car. Would you like a newspaper, sir? Would you like a coffee? So you sit there like king on the hill, and they run around and they do everything. So it feels pretty good. And so here I pulled in and I said, you guys don't have any sitting area. I said, where do I wait? And he says, oh, just wait inside the car. Beautiful. And of course it's warm because you're inside the garage. I opened both windows, was playing with my phone. So they took off the that flat tire on the wheel from my truck. They checked it. There's no damage, no cuts, nothing, right? No nails. They reinflated it, and the pressure stayed the same for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And they said, well, looks like it was just pushed off the rim, that's why it deflated. So you lost the seal, right, between the rim and the tire. And I said, what if it goes flat again? Maybe there's a leak somewhere. They said, no, we put, that soapy water around between the rim and the tire, and there's no bubbles, nothing. And then I asked them to double check it again, the pressure when they put it on, same pressure, And then I went to Shoppers Drug Mart nearby because I was afraid to go very far. So I went to Shoppers Drug Mart like half a kilometer away. And I was checking the pressure on my dash. Same. I go shopping in Shoppers Drug Mart, come back 15-20 minutes later, start the car, check the pressure, same. Wow. So I just got lucky that I didn't damage anything, because it's a rental car. They will start screaming at me, right? And but the best part is that when I ask him how much I owe them, the guy says nothing. Like, what? I'll give you 5 out of 5 as well. So very good guys, Mr. Lube, northeast Calgary, not too far from the airport. And so that's what happened today. And then I went to Bass Pro Shop, did some shopping. Again, I was keeping an eye on the tire. Everything was cool. So same pressure. So I got lucky, I'm telling you. But otherwise, you can damage some of those arms, suspension, right? And then for insurance, I use my own, I use my Visa insurance. When you use a Visa credit card, right? Some of them, they will give you insurance, and that's what I use. And I'm thinking, man, if something happens and they'll charge me and it'll affect my insurance rating on the Hellcat, but nothing. So we good. And then also over the past couple of days, I was looking for some accessories for my Mossberg 590M, which I ordered, but I ordered it on, what, Friday, I think, right? Basically during the holidays. So now they have to confirm the order and then they will ship it. But for now the order is placed, but there's been no notifications from the this online gun store. And by the way, we're not allowed to buy anything weapon related in US, because I was searching for one particular type of a magazine for my shotgun, like 5-shot, you know, a small one, and I see it in the States readily available, but nobody has it in Canada, and I cannot buy it in US. But so yeah, my 590M, M stands for magazine, can use, they have 4 magazines available for this firearm. So 5-shot, 10-shot, 15 and 20. And of course 20 is like huge. I watch movies about it. I don't like it. It looks ridiculous, you know. The shotgun itself comes with 1 magazine for 10 shots, right? And I searched on that website where I bought the firearm, you know. I thought maybe I will add some extra magazines. Nothing. They don't have any more magazines. You cannot even buy a 10-shot magazine. Everything is back ordered. And so I started searching online. Basically, you know, you just use the keywords what you want, for sale, and your country, right? So I said Mossberg 590M magazine for sale, Canada. Enter. Boom, right away I see a bunch of Canadian, and I made sure that they're like .ca or something where it says Canada, right? And I found a couple of stores online. One of them had 15-shot mag in stock, and the other one had 10-shot mag in stock. And so I registered a free user account, and I bought, from the first one I bought one 15-shot mag, from the other I bought 2 10-shot mags. And so now when the thing arrives, so I will have 3 10-shot magazines and 1 15. So to complete the collection, again, I don't like 20-shot mags, they're just too big. I would love to buy a couple of 5-shot mags, because actually right now the government is considering a bill, which I don't think will pass, but they're still considering to limit the magazine capacity for non-automatic firearms. Whereas before, there's only, in Canada, all semi-auto firearms are limited to 5-shot magazines. Like, you know, semi-auto shotguns, semi-auto rifles, not sure about pistols, but they're banned now anyway. But anything semi-auto, all you can get is 5, which is ridiculous. Like, you know, so what's the point of semi-auto? It makes things quicker, right? Boom, boom, boom. 5 shots, it takes 2 seconds, and basically you're gonna be reloading like 80% of the time. Then boom, 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 5. Okay, reload. You know. And so that was my first, the only reason, and one of the major reasons, and plus, not all of them are very reliable, right? The semi-auto ones. So a pump action shotgun is like a classic, you know. And I went for this magazine model because it looks cool, and I thought it would be a good subject for my YouTube videos, right? But also, you know, you can preload these magazines at home, right? And then when you go somewhere shooting, you don't have to, you know, waste time loading the shotgun itself. You have like magazines like that. That's why the whole Army and Navy and stuff like that, all modern weapons use magazines, right? Because it's much faster to change magazines than to do like individual, you know, cartridge loading. And so that's why, so I wanted to have like at least capacity for 60 shots. And so now I have 30, 3 mags of 10 and 15, so 45. So maybe I should buy another 15. No, but I'd rather buy 2 5-shot mags, because yeah, these guys now, so pump action shotguns and bolt action rifles unlimited magazine capacity. You can have, 100, like a barrel magazine, whatever, right? And so that's why these pump shotguns, it's all depends on the manufacturer. It can be 7 shots, 5, 8, 10, right? No, 10. For 10, you need a magazine. The highest I've seen pump action shotgun without a magazine was 8 plus 1. So 8 in the in the tube, 1 in the chamber. But this one, you see, I can do 10, 15, right? But what happens if they limit the capacity? Then I would have to go to a gunsmith and put something inside these 10 and 15 shot mags to block them so that they can only take 5. But then what's the point? They're so big and heavy, right? Might as well buy like some 5 shot mags. But anyway, I'm still looking for those. If I find them, I'm buying them. But for now, so I got those 2 10 shot mags and 1 15 shot mag. And then, so the same friend who helped me rent a car, he sent me a gift card for Boston Pizza and another gift card for Cineplex movie theater. And I've been wanting to go and see this new Avatar movie, right? I'm a big fan of the previous one. And I check, and it's playing at that theater, and there's a huge shopping center not too far from me, and they have Cineplex, check. They have Boston Pizza, check. And they have a Bass Pro Shop. And the same friend says, hey, today's Monday, Boxing Day, so maybe you can get some good deals at Cabela or Bass Pro Shops, for your shotgun, And of course, I need a case for the firearm itself. I need a case for the ammo. And I thought, hey, that's a good idea. So I drove over there using my rental and probably spent 30 minutes just cruising around trying to find parking. It's probably my first time. I never do this. I never like Boxing Day because of all these crowds, like some crazy people line up at 4 in the morning to save $2 on some gadget, right? It's not how I roll. I don't care. I want to be away from other people, but somehow I forgot about this. I thought, hey, what's the worst that can happen? So I go to this huge shopping center, and there's like millions of people over there. And we all jump into this kind of like merry-go-round, where people follow each other, just driving in the aisles in the parking lot, trying to see if somebody will pull out and there'll be a spot. Like no spots. I checked like within maybe a kilometer radius of Bass Pro Shop. I thought, okay, maybe I'll go to the next one on the other side of this little driveway. It's even worse because that one is closer to the main shopping center, because the Bass Pro Shop is kind of like a little bit, to the side. Man. And I was already, prepared to just leave and go home. And then I see a guy walking, You always have to watch guys walking towards the parking lot, when you're looking for a parking spot. I see a guy with a woman, like husband and wife probably, walking, and they're getting into a car which is like spot number 2 away from the building of Bass Pro Shop. Like, what? I check my mirrors. No, nobody is speeding to take that spot, so I just position myself. I block that road, like, a little driveway inside the parking lot so that nobody can get in. And I left him just a little bit of space so he can start backing out. And then when he saw me, he started backing out. I moved my car slowly, checked my mirrors, nothing in the back. I moved my car slowly just to give him enough space for him to get out so that other people cannot get in. Because I saw this, ugly scenes where a truck, there was a spot and the guy was leaving, and the pickup truck, parked just past this, and his backup lights, white lights, are on, because I can see what he's doing. He's ready to back into that spot, right? And so he's waiting for this guy to leave. Right away, some minivan comes out here. he's not looking to the left to the pickup truck, and as soon as this guy moved out, this guy just jumps on his gas and tries to get into this parking spot. And at the same time, the pickup truck goes like this, and then they all brake because they're gonna hit each other. And the minivan sits there for like 10-15 seconds, and finally he slowly backs out because he realized that that guy was waiting for this spot. Ridiculous. But anyway, so I got super lucky, I'm telling you, like right, I don't know, maybe 50 meters away from the main entrance. Unbelievable. So basically, always have hope when searching for a parking spot. All you do is just you cruise around, you take your time, and you watch for people coming to take their car, because you know how long are they gonna stay there? Okay, maybe an hour, but they're not gonna live there, right? So eventually somebody will come out. But I'm telling you, I never saw such crazy situation. And then I went inside, I did my purchases, and getting out took me probably another 30 minutes because everything is blocked. People are honking at each other. There was a set of lights, and I'm supposed to go straight, but the guys that go this way, they just, you know, stop in the middle of the intersection because there's cars in front of them. And then they sit there like, our light is green, we cannot go because these idiots are in the middle of the road. Anyway, but what I was looking for, I was looking for a case for the shotgun, something that I can lock. And I checked the website before I went there, and I needed an ammo box, and I wanted to buy some ammo. And this was the first time I used my what is called PAL, Possession and Acquisition License. I gave it to the lady when I went to the register to pay for this, and she just looked at it. She probably looked at the expiry date and just maybe looked at my picture or something and just gave it to me like after 1 second. I said, you want to see my driver's license? Because I'm not sure how it works, right? I'm buying ammo for a shotgun. She said, no, it's fine. And so I watched a couple of unboxing videos for Mossberg just to see what it comes with. And I checked the length, it's 39.5 inches, right? And so we measured this, so this should be okay. This case, and you see they put this kind of like to let security know that you purchased this and you already paid. I'm guessing this means that it was paid for. But now I get a couple of free garbage bags, which is cool. So it's a pretty sturdy case. It was like 39 bucks Canadian. And you see over here, there's a hole, so you can put a lock in here. So I just need to buy like any, well, I don't actually need it because one thing I noticed when I was watching these unboxing videos is that there is a padlock included with the shotgun by Mossberg, right? It's like a locking thing for your, either for the trigger or for the action, I'm not sure, but there is a lock, and the law in Canada says that when you store your shotgun, first of all, it has to be separate from the ammo, and that's one of the major reasons why people never use it here for self-defense, because you're not supposed to keep it loaded, right? So ammo should be stored separately from the gun, and secondly, the gun should be either in a lockable case or it can lie by itself, you know, like hidden from view somewhere, but it must have that padlock, some kind of a locking device. And so I don't have to lock this, but then I would need to put a lock on the shotgun, right? If I don't want to use a, well, this is nice, you see? If I don't want to use the padlock, I'll just have to buy a lock for this case, like any cheap lock. Hold on a second. I wanna. Where's my? Where's my measuring tape? Oh, it's probably in my car, in my Hellcat. I thought it was somewhere here. No, I probably took it to my Hellcat. But we checked, this was like 48 from here to here. This was like 48 inches. But you see, I also got a red dot sight, and so this is wide enough for the shotgun, I hope, with the red dot sight. And these were, I think they were on sale, so $39.99. Maybe not on sale, but you know, for 40 bucks, I think. Gun, what is it called? Gun guard. But it looks pretty sturdy, you know, very like good plastic. And you see it has this, so you can lock it in many spots, not just here, but you know, maybe I can just put some zip ties or something, right? As long as there's a lock on the trigger or action, that's legal. And then ammo, it's also, it says ammo has to be locked, but they don't specify it has to be padlocked, but it has to be kept separate from the gun. So I bought this. If you remember, I had a similar case in my semi truck when I was a trucker, because I found these are so useful. But the one I had had a tray. This one doesn't have a tray, but check this out. No experience. Look at this. So these were on sale. So this is five shots, 12 gauge, and it's a double O buckshot. So I bought enough to fill up all my magazines, and then just in case that one is poor quality, I got this. This, at least the box looks better. You know how packaging is very important, right? Just like with alcohol. And it's a total chaos. I go to the counter where they have all these guys running around, but everybody's busy because people are buying shotguns, they're buying rifles, you know, because there's some deals, right, on Boxing Day. And one guy is writing some kind of a receipt or something. I said, hey, where do I get the ammo? How do I buy ammo? I said, this is my first time. I said, I just got my PAL license. And he says, oh, all the ammo is over there. And he points me towards the, basically, displays. And it's all open. And there's no system. There's like rifle cartridges, there's shotgun cartridges, there's pistol cartridges, you know. No rhyme or reason. And nobody's helping. And so I remember that my chamber is 2 3/4, and it's a 12 gauge, right? Very important. Don't buy like a 3-inch or 3.5 inch, right? And so I just started looking and started learning where to look. Okay, so you see it's 12 gauge, 2 3/4, double O buck, right? 9 pellets. And then usually here, that's where it's easier to read. 12 gauge, 2 3/4 inch, double O buck, 9 pellet, 1325 feet per second. Right? And so when I was buying this, like nowhere in the box it says how many cartridges are inside. And so there was one guy there restocking some shelf, and I said, sir, excuse me, like I'm honestly lost here, trying to find some ammo for my shotgun. And this one, I said, how do I know it's a good deal? This was 12 bucks. So this was $5 for pretty much $4.99 for 5. And this was 13 bucks for an unknown quantity, right? And so I asked the guy, he went to talk to somebody, he comes back, he says 10. But he says, we can open, and no big deal. He, right in front of me, he proceeds to open this. Just open it, and there you go. There's 5 cartridges in each row, and there's 2 rows. And when I picked it up, this was the first time in my life I ever held cartridge from a shotgun, like a real cartridge, you know, 00 buck. So this is pretty strong. And why I like 2 3/4, that's why I bought the shotgun with 2 3/4 chamber, because it's easy on your shoulder. That it shouldn't give you as much, you know, recoil as bigger shells, like some people like 3-inch. But this is the most typical one, right? I think the price was okay. So again, this is Canadian dollars, right? And then this one looks actually cooler because you can see the pellets inside. Check this out, right? So this is the same 00 buck, 2 3/4. So basically, one cartridge is $1 Canadian. You know, so that's what I got. So now, all I need to do now is get my shotgun, and then I'm gonna find a gunsmith to install my red dot sight. Well, maybe I'll do it myself, but I have no idea how to properly install it, how to make sure it's correct. You know, so maybe I'll just, oh, and plus my shotgun, it's drilled and tapped, like the receiver is drilled and tapped, but there's no Picatinny rail. You cannot just hook up the sight unless, you know, you use some kind of a crazy glue or something, right? So it's not gonna work long term very well. And so I'm gonna go to a gunsmith and install a Picatinny rail, and then wait for a good weather, and I will go from there. And the plan is, actually, I decided I don't want to waste time with all these gun clubs. You know, all I need to do is just find somebody. If any of you guys are from this area, Calgary, Alberta, and you know any farmers or anybody with a big parcel of land, you know, I'd be happy to pay them something so that they will allow me to do some target practice, maybe like once a month. So the way I see it is, I'm gonna go to any big grocery store and just buy a bunch of pumpkins, watermelons, melons, some jugs of pop, maybe try to find some bowling pins somewhere, and maybe a couple of you know, some metal things that you can put in the ground, because it's very cool when they make a sound, you know, when you hit them and they make bang, right? So you want to find some kind of a metal thing.